Okay, all right.
All right, let me put you on mute for a second, but I'm going to still be able to hear you.
Okay. All righty then. All righty then. All righty then. How y'all doing tonight in YouTube land? Land. What's up to the Deacons of Reality? What's up to those in the chat room, those who are listening and those who will be listening to this broadcast later on? Peace forever and always. I am your soul brother number one, Angelsnupnup7. I was going to wait till tomorrow, but y'all know how I feel about that. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Why put off tomorrow what you can do today? And it should not, this conversation should not even be that long. I just wanted to make some points here and go on about my business. I wanted to make a response video to our conversation earlier this evening with a brother called Deprogramming. Some of you may have already seen that conversation, that interview, and some of you may not watch it until I maybe post it on this channel. I have some concerns, and concerns have been brought to my attention, and that's why I thought it may be expedient upon me to bring this before how do you call yourselves? What's the word I'm looking for? Well, bring this before those who listen to this platform. I just go for, there's a word that I'm looking for. The congregation, the deacons of reality. I'm bringing this to the congregation. Can I get an amen? All right. I first want to say that this brother and many who come to YouTube, many of them are not professional interviewers. They are just content creators. They have no skills. They have no experience. You cannot expect them to be like perhaps Oprah Winfrey or Geraldo Guevara or Phil Donahue or Ricky Lake or some of these persons that interview. They're just ordinary people with a YouTube channel. You must understand this. I'm asking him, did you do your research? You want me to explain who and what I am, and I'm trying to do that, but you won't let me because you don't want to hear and accept the responsibility, but you want to call yourself an interviewer, but you have failed in researching your topic. Your topic that you've chosen is myself, the Reality's Temple on Earth ministry, and which I told you I really don't want to talk about that. I did not come to your channel. I did not ask you to speak about the ministry. I came to you to speak about Operation Exodus Mississippi campaign, not the Reality's Temple. But you wanted to focus on the Reality's Temple because there are things that you know that I say that you want to challenge or more clarification or whatever. I don't know what your intent really is. I don't know that. But that's not what I wanted to speak about. My opinion or my ideology. I wanted to talk about this plan to help get us out of this situation once and for all. That's what I want to talk about. And if you have something better, I'm listening. I want to hear your better. The Mississippi Campaign and Reality's Temple are two different things. Just like Brother Malcolm done, or he was organizing, trying to organize his platform. He had one side for his religious beliefs, and he had another side for the revolution, the struggle for liberation. Two sides. So when Malcolm is speaking about the revolution and liberation, don't ask him about why do you believe in Allah? Because that's not what he's here for. He's here to bring us a message. How do we become liberated? Not how can I convert you to Islam? Now, if you want to know about Islam, now you go to his temple meetings where they are talking about religion and spirituality and all that, those type of things. I was not coming to the platform to speak about the Reality's Temple. In fact, you put it in real bold letters. This was about Operation Exodus, Mississippi. And the sad thing about it is you act like you can't pronounce my name, Angelsnupnup7. It's very simple. And then you flipped around Operation Exodus. You called it what? Mississippi Operation Exodus or something like that. This goes to show you that you made no attempt to research or study the topic that you were supposed to bring an interview for. And that shows your fault, your poor skills. It does not reflect bad on me. As an interviewer, and Oprah would tell you, when Oprah talks about her books, she have read this person's book. And when she brings it to the author, they know Oprah read her book because because she expounds on it. You brought nothing to show us. You scanned over a few of my videos and you spent a week. You had a week to prepare to come bring us some some logical inquiry or whatever. But you rather spend it. I watch your platform and you're doing other things. And it shows that you don't know nothing about the Reality's Temple. You don't know nothing about the Mississippi Campaign. You want me to explain, but then when I'm trying to explain, you want to cut me off because I want to let the people know you failed as an interviewer. Don't call yourself an interviewer when you've done no research on your topic. When people come, and like a brother tried to accuse me, I didn't read his book. And I want to show him, I read your book. If I didn't read your book, I'll tell you that. But that was not an interview. But if I was going to interview you over your book, I read the book. Because I'm not going to come to you in ignorance. I shouldn't have to do so much work if you had informed yourself. We must understand that he's a believer. All these people, most of these people on YouTube are believers in something. And when you talk about their belief, whether it's religion, spirituality, divinity, or Pan-Africanism or whatever they choose to believe in, when somebody challenged that, when somebody questioned that, or somebody in their mind is making mockery of that, they become defensive and emotional. That's why he said, well, what about people's beliefs? Well, first of all, we're supposed to be talking about the Mississippi Campaign. And if you went to the Mississippi Campaign YouTube channel, I'm not talking about beliefs. My conversation is about this plan. You chose not to do that, sir. Or none of the people in the chat room chose not to do that. That's not my fault. That's your fault. Because it's there for you to study. Just like you study the teachings of Umar Johnson, the way you study John Henry Clark, Gavin, study what we're presenting like you would them. But you bias and you prejudice, again, because of religion, because of these divisive ideologies. That's why you didn't do it. Because you just want to argue with somebody, debate somebody. And he did bring that up. Don't you want to debate? Don't you want to debate? I want to be free. I want to be liberated from an oppressor once and for all. You've been debating on YouTube for almost 20 years. And what has it done for you? Absolutely nothing. And I'm too old to continue to waste my time with something that offers no benefit. I get no joy. And also, I'm not trying to be, and I'm not going to be arrogant, but you can't debate me. I already know what you know, and then some. Before it even come out your mouth, I already know. I've been there, done that. You have nothing to offer like that. So what's the sense of debating? You want to continue to do the same old thing that you've been doing. And that's what I meant when I was talking about you want to keep doing the Kemetic thing or the Christian thing. Keep doing those different things that you are influenced by that is not getting you nowhere. So keep doing that. I personally don't care. I'm trying to show you that there's another way and you can be successful. If you know how to separate your emotions, your beliefs from the job that needs to be done. It's not about liking somebody. It's about understanding something that can solve your problem once and for all. And not pussyfooting around. So, you cannot judge him by those who listen. When we left the live stream, it was about 168, almost 200 views. All those people are not the same. Some of them are listening to us. Some of them are vibing on us. And I have been told by some of those people, I'm listening to you. I'm hearing your conversation in the chat room. It was a sister named Catherine. I'm glad you back. I want to hear more. So my question is, should I deny Sister Catherine? Should I deny her and other potential people who would listen to this video later on who are capable of thinking for themselves, glossing over the nonsense, the foolishness, the emotionalism, and they're able to listen to our message? Should I just say, oh, he disrespected me, or I didn't like how that interview went, and whatever? Should I do that? You and I must understand, in this business, it's not about him. It's about the people. I was taught in the Nation of Islam that Master Farad Muhammad came to America and he was willing to climb the highest mountain to save one. To save one. So if we get one and you don't know who that one is, that one might come out of his channel and really be the energy that we need to push this Mississippi campaign. Or I could take things personal, which I don't, because Darrell and those in the chat room, as far as I'm concerned, they have the right to believe and do whatever the hell they please. I don't care. My mission is to get the word out to the best of my ability. Now, my question to you, if you don't like your brother going or speaking with Darrell, and he's not a bad guy for real. I mean, he has the right to his opinion. And people you can't trip on people's personalities and how they carry themselves, because you're never going to find nobody. He's not a professional interviewer. I thought he did a pretty decent job. This was our second time talking to him. So he's off in his emotions, and you want to get all into your emotions. We're never going to get nowhere because everybody damn emotional. Your feelings was hurt. He did not hurt my feelings. I don't feel disrespected. The disrespect comes from when I know I'm living in a situation and I know I can get out of it. The disrespect comes from, why am I still living here in America as a damn slave? That's my problem. And I know we can do better than this. I'm not going to allow his personality or nobody's personality to keep me from climbing the mountain and reaching one. Then, of course, we had trolls in the chat room or whatever. And this one troll, as soon as the broadcast was over, I think he's following me around. He ran to Brother Maurice live stream to tell him that we look bad on Darrell interview on his platform. And of course, you know, we got cut off early. I have an email from Darrell explaining for some reason he got disconnected. Had nothing to do. He did not like the conversation that was going or whatever. He invited us to come back and talk some more. It's about conversation. It's about being able, look, we think differently. And when you're having a conversation, trying to see where everybody is at, emotions can flare. Does that mean I throw Darrell out with the bathwater? Does that mean Darrell throw me out with the bathwater? If we are sincere in wanting what is in the best interest of our people. That's what we claim. That's what we want. We have to be able to listen to people no matter how silly, stupid, you might find them rude or whatever. I used to have Pecker Woods come to my channel and call me the N-word. Didn't bother me none. And I would have conversations with them. And after we talked, they would come and they would stop calling me the N-word, and they would say, you know, you ain't like the rest of them. See? Because I allowed them to be who they was. I did not trip. They was calling me the N-word. What do you want to say? Speak. Get it off your chest. You live in a country of hurt. People are hurting. People are filled with pain. People have been abused. And we live in a society of political correctness, and people hurt. You don't know where people have been. And you put them in a situation because of political correctness, they cannot express themselves. When that one lady, what's her name? I forgot what her name was. An older lady, she was on TV. it wasn't Martha Stewart. I forgot what her name. Anyway, she said the N-word or whatever. But see, she come from an environment as a child. That was an everyday thing. She was living in the South. It just don't pop and leave because the world has changed a little bit. She was raised that way. This is not making an excuse for her. But this is how she was raised. Just like me. I was raised in the Baptist church. And I was raised by the Nation of Islam. Yeah. See, that's why it's really good to have more than one brain. That's the lady I'm looking for. Absolutely. That's her. That's why it's good to have more than one brain. Because if I don't know, somebody else know. Pass the damn basketball. Thank you, Deacon. Yeah, Paula Dean. That's where she come from. She was raised in that environment. N-word every day. No big deal. That was the environment. I was raised in the Baptist church. I was raised in the Nation of Islam. That's still part of me. And some people even tell me, you talk like, oh, there go my beautiful one.
Hey,
there go my beautiful.
How you doing?
I'm all right. Brother Talib is on speakerphone. I think he's still there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to get this off my chest, this interview tonight. I just wanted to say some things. And I'll pass the mic to you and Brother Talib.
Okay.
So that's huh?
What's that echo?
I don't know. I don't hear echo. I got all my things off here. I don't know where echo could be coming from. I don't know. I don't hear anything.
Let me close these windows.
All right.
Okay.
All
right.
So yes. So I was raised in the Baptist church again, and I have a Nation of Islam background. And people even tell me, some people say I look like Nation of Islam. They say I talk like Nation of Islam. And even when I do put my lectures or whatever together, it does sound like Nation of Islam. That's where I come from. I cannot get rid of that. That's me. So you have this lady, Paula Dean. She was raised at a time where everybody was N-word this, N-word, and then she slipped and get caught up. It don't bother me. I understand that. She was raised that way. It's not making no excuse. It's part of you. And see, that's a problem also. That's the problem also when we are molested as children and don't know nothing about sex and rape. By another, you are a little boy and you getting raped by a man. And you grow up and you might understand that's not how it's supposed to go, but that happened to you for years as a child. It just don't go away. It just don't slip. It's there. And there are many who have been abused and exploited. You might think that they are normal or whatever. No, they're keeping it under control. It's a hurtful thing. I cannot even imagine if I was a child and some grown man got me in the backside and made me suck his penis. I can't even imagine.
Nasty.
As a child. Raped. And a lot of times you are raped by your relative, a father, a cousin, sometimes a mother. It's a hurtful thing. And you might be able to control. Some people never get over it. But some people learn how to control, but it's always there. It just don't leave. Oh, you can just get hypnosis or something and just, I don't believe in that. I don't think that you can, because if I know as a child, I don't know if you got that kind of hypnosis where it can destroy your memory, I guess it's possible. But if I know as a child that some grown man made me suck his phallus and he got me in the backside, I'm going to carry that the rest of my life. Matter of fact, it's things that I carry the rest of my life don't even measure up to that point, and I still carry that stuff on to this day. I was bullied for years. That's still part of me. I have to control my anger. When somebody get aggressive with me, I have to hold myself so back, because those years of bullying made me to the point where I'm real aggressive and want to fight real fast because I got to get this bully off me. I have that attitude. And you might not even mean me no harm. But because of that bullying in my past, it's still part of me. I have to control it. You're not my enemy. I have to remember, okay, you're not my enemy. That's not the bully. I got to keep that. I got to try to control it. That's why I try not to get angry with nobody. I try not to do that because I know, and I've said this and some folks might not believe it, I know if I cross this line, somebody's going to be in trouble because I don't care no more. I don't care about going to jail. I don't care about death. I'm coming to get your ass, sucker. And I try not to keep myself, okay, stay calm, stay cool, calm, collect, you know, try to stay, because I was bullied. Now, I've heard some comments from certain persons and whatever, and they expressed their feelings to me that Darrell was disrespectful to me and didn't let me explain and talk and whatever. And I understand your concern, but that's his channel. It's only so much that I can really do, because I'm not going to debate and go back and forth with him on his channel. I'm going to have to stay cool, calm, and collected. If that's what you want to believe, brother, so be it. He wants to call me an atheist. Now, I told this man, I'm not an atheist. And somebody even put on the screen the definition of an atheist. That's not me. Because I'm telling you, I don't know. I don't acknowledge.
Exactly. That's agnosticism.
Yeah. I don't acknowledge your God. I don't believe or disbelieve. I told him, if you can show me clear, convincing, and overwhelming evidence of your God, hey, then I don't even have to believe. It's a fact. It's no longer belief. It's a fact. And he's a psychiatrist or psychologist. I was amazed if he would catch on to those wordings, because in order for me to get out of the crazy house, I had to show clear, convincing, and overwhelming evidence that a mental illness don't exist. And I'm waiting to hear from him, because he's a psychologist. I guess he don't deal with criminal law. He don't deal with forensic psychology at all, because you're going to know those words. Believe me, I have to show clear, convincing, and overwhelming evidence. So the only thing I did was flip it and said and made it related to God instead of the mental illness. That's all I did. And he didn't recognize it. So that means he don't have no understanding of forensic psychology. But you're going to tell me about my experience dealing with these people for 10 years. And you don't know nothing about forensic psychology at all, because you should have caught that. Because that's normal. That's all the time. When you go to court, it's in them papers. They did not, either I did or did not show clear, convincing, overwhelming evidence when people are trying to get released. It should be the same even in Texas. He's out of Texas. But see, you can believe what you want. I'm not there to debate. And again, he brought that up. Don't you want to debate? I don't want to debate you. Debate for what? Debates don't do nothing for us. See, we're unorthodox here. And if he did his study like an interviewer should, he would have studied Mississippi Campaign. He would have studied the Realist Temple. My words in these videos. He had a week. He had a week to get ready for this interview. There's no reason that he wasn't prepared for this. But he decided to do other stuff because we're not worthy of study. We're not worthy of examination. So you want to come on here and try to make it look like I'm stupid. I know what the Realist Temple is. You're the one misinformed. And then he did not want me to show the people that you're not a real interviewer because an interviewer does their research on their topic. And you did not do that. So you want to try to put that on me. Just talk about it. And then he didn't even let me explain. He didn't even let me talk about it. Because you don't know. You told me you just glanced over some videos and you don't know. Well, let me talk about it. Uh-oh, there go our sister Rashida. She's off the battlefield. Rashida off the battlefield. She decided to come and give us a that's a sister warrior. I would rather her be on my side than against me. That's for Sister Rashida is a soldier. No, she don't stop. Sister Rashida remind me of the Terminator.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
coming to get you. No doubt about that. See, we need that power, that kind of strength. See, we're unorthodox. See, he's looking for somebody. What's your organization? What do y'all believe? What? We just a team of people coming together. We want to get the hell out the jail.
I mean, we're not an organization.
Yeah, that's what you need an organization for.
This is not Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, this is not Black Lives Matter. And then even when it comes to the Mississippi campaign, it's to organize in a manner. There's no leader. There's no real leader or anything like that. It's people organizing. We get together and develop a strategy. Okay, you go over here and do this, and you go over here and do that. There is no leader. There is no belief system. That I just want to get the hell out of here. We understand. Take your role in this, and then take care of your part. Because if everybody take care of their part, it all comes together and we win.
Mm-hmm.
Sister Rashida said, these two are fire. Now I'll tell you. Now see, if Sister Rashida says that, because Sister Rashida ain't impressed by a whole lot of folks.
Mm-mm.
She's not. Sister Rashida would tell you, I don't look at these people. I only watch my own. So Sister Rashida here, and she hanging with us, we must be saying something that's for real fire. I love my dark-skinned activists. Woo! And she said, Sister Noble too. Yeah. See, they're not used to us. We're unorthodox. We're not talking all that blackity black hotel and waiting for some spook to come out the sky. We are unorthodox because we have decided that it's time that we use our brain and use our hands. And they don't know how to do it. They need a leader. What do I do? What do I do with my hand? What do I do?
They're looking for a black messiah.
Yeah, looking for a black messiah that J. Edgar Hoover's talked about. They didn't talk about it. J. Edgar Hoover came up with that. And then they said, yeah, a black messiah. That's what we need. Black messiah. That didn't even come from our womb. That came from Peckerwood. That hated your guts. And really, it's not even about a black messiah. Yeah. She said she got your book.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. And it's not about a black messiah. It's about black messiahs, plural. Because one man can't handle this. I guarantee you, one man cannot handle this situation we find ourselves in. You've been trying it for years. Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, you waiting for some black messiah. May he rest in peace, Brother Fred Hampton. They just made a movie about him, Judas and the Messiah. I need to watch that. Somebody gave me free access to their HBO. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch that movie there. And you know, so I'm telling you, I'm not really a movie watcher. I don't like. Now, if I go to with you, Sister Nova, I go watch movies, but I'm not a movie watcher. I just don't. You know, I don't like to read like I used to.
Come on, I'm probably gonna wait till they stream it on one of these streaming accounts, and then I'll probably watch it then. But I don't think I'm gonna go to the movie theater. Yeah,
I don't even think it's in the movie theater, is it? I think it is. Right. It's just available streaming.
Oh,
because you know we can't go to the movie theaters like we used to. They've been closed.
Well, down here they have the movie theaters open.
They're still open.
Yeah, I hadn't been to a movie theater in a while.
Yeah, because they shut a lot of, you know, they shut a lot of these movie theaters down, and so they start, like Wonder Woman was released on streaming. I don't think it was in. It wasn't in theaters.
Yeah, it was HBO streaming.
Yeah, because of this COVID thing, whatever.
Yeah.
So we're unorthodox here. He's asking us, well, what do you believe? You know, how you do it. They want us to be like them. We're not you. I'm trying to, if you had did your research and studied us, you would understand that we are asking us to have a new mindset and open your mind to new strategy. So that means we can't be like the way that we are because it's not working. The way you're doing it now. It's not working. You've been following Umar Johnson since 2014. He's supposed to be building this African school, and you haven't done it yet. Raised over $1 million. And then because of Umar Johnson's personality problems, his donations went down. You're never going to get it. Like Invoke said, you're never going to get it, never going to get it. What, Terry? You're never going to get it. How are you going to do that and you don't have no income? How are you going to do that with no federal grants? You no longer have a support system like you used to. You're not going to do it.
Why he can't get no federal grant?
Well, he ain't even tried. I'm going to do this with all black money.
Oh.
Yeah. It's 2021. You started trying to get to school in 2014. It's 2021 now. I think they said that he actually got started in 2004, I believe. Actually, it officially got started, go way back as 2004. I heard. I'm not really sure. I would have to go look at my own video because I put the video up where it came out his mouth when it actually for real got started. He's been doing this for a while. And D. Darrell have gave him thousands of dollars. He even brag about it. I gave him thousands of dollars.
Wow.
And the only thing he's been able to come up with is 2 broke down schools that need to get fixed up. You could have bought that long time ago. But that's another topic, and that's what you want to do. So be it. I don't have nothing to do with that. But our conversation, and you was on the live stream, and those who watched the live stream, the topic that we're supposed to be talking about was Operation Exodus, Mississippi. He had it in big red letters. That's what, not Reality's Temple. And he started going to Reality's Temple. Now, if you want to do that one day, and I feel like, because I know I'm going to catch some heat, because people don't want to hear about, you don't believe in God, and blah. I already know the hell I'm going to catch on that one. But that's not what I was talking about. We came to talk about the Mississippi campaign. He started talking about you know, and you offended people about God. If you didn't bring that stuff up, that never would have been brought up. You start talking about religion and then whatever. I didn't bring that up because Mississippi campaign has nothing to do with that. Now he started, I have to give him his credit because once he gave the microphone to you, he said, explain the economics. Now we're getting back on track. And once we got back on track, the conversation kept going smooth. No problem, because that's what it should have been about all the time. Like I said, if you want to talk about the reality, my personal ideology or whatever, we might do that one day. And I'll be prepared for the hell I want to catch. I know that. But that's not what I was expecting. That's not what I wanted tonight. Because it's not about my personal ideology. And I can defend my rostrum. I'm not worried about that. That's not what I was on his platform to talk about. Matter of fact, ever since I spoke with him, it was about Mississippi campaign from the very beginning. It never was about, and I even explained to him, my ministry and Mississippi campaign, two different things. But of course, he listened to some of my videos in relationship to the ministry or whatever, and he wanted to talk about those things or whatever a little bit. But that's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about Mississippi campaign. But he went off the topic. And I really didn't want to talk about the ministry. Well, how do you do it? What's a temple? What's the ministry? Yeah, that sounds like religion to me. That's not what we're here to talk about. And then when I tried to explain, he wouldn't even let me explain, because that's not what we're supposed to be talking about anyway. The focus is Mississippi campaign. And so again, he tries to tell me or call me an atheist. I'm telling you, I'm not an atheist. Now, I told you what I am. Why do people try to tell you who you are? I told you what I am. Oh, you're an atheist because it said, who said I'm an atheist? The white man, his definition? And like the sister Noah said, talked to us, I think after the live stream was over, that it origins in Greece from some damn Europeans or whatever. But you're going to focus on their word, atheist. But you Pan-African. But you want to say, legally, this legal by who? I'm not a slave no more. You don't label me. You don't call me Toby. My name is Kutakente. He trying to give me Toby. I told you what I am. No, because you don't understand, how can a person be the way? Okay, you're not an atheist. You don't believe in God. You're not agnostic. I mean, what the hell are you? I'm natural. All these thinking processes was taught to us. If it wasn't for somebody teaching us these things, we wouldn't bring it up. You have to be taught and learn to be a believer in God, because ain't no God taught you nothing. When you come out the womb, I never heard no baby say, hey, Allah, hey, Jesus, I ain't never heard that. If you don't teach these children these things, we never know. I wish I was one of them that was never introduced to this crap. It almost made me want to have children, so I wouldn't teach them that crap, and I would teach them the reality of life so they could go out and tell the other ones how messed up their parents are, forcing these beliefs on them. Don't tell me about God. I'm not going to debate you about God. The only thing you have to do is bring your God to this live stream right now. I'm not going to go back and forth about your God. Bring him to the live stream. I don't need to talk to you. Bring your God to the live stream. Myself and Sister Nova here, we waiting. And if you want us to wait till 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll sit here and wait till 3 o'clock in the morning so your God, because I know your God is real busy destroying and causing problems all over the world and making these false promises and don't never. So I know that's what your God is doing all the time. So he's very busy bull crapping around. He's never going to show up. Never. Then you have the nerve to talk about Santa Claus. Same thing. Santa Claus is fictional, so is your God. We was taught about Santa Claus. Your God never came to you and taught you nothing. It came from a person who, like D. Darrell said, who believed in something. This is my belief. We was taught that. It's not natural. It's unnatural to believe in God. Do you see any signs of any animal trying to worship some creator? The only thing a deer know, a bear, a bee, they come here, I'm going to live or I'm going to die. That's it. There is no creator. I got to find me something to eat, find me something to drink, or I'm going to die. It's simple as that. There is no creator. And if there is a creator, apparently he don't give a damn about your happy ass. Don't care about your affairs. Like some animals have babies and the offspring is on their own. They don't have nothing to do with them. So if there is a God, clearly he don't have nothing to do with our affairs. Nothing. He does nothing. And you call this God a he. If God is a spirit, spirits don't have genders. Why is it always a he? How come it can't be a she? Why God can't be it? It's always a he, the masculine. And all your spirits and spooks is a he. Spirits don't need a gender. That's for flesh and blood so that you can reproduce. Spirits don't need to reproduce. So if your father dies and become a spirit, it's not your father no more. Don't have a gender. Don't have a gender no more. Unless you can show me a spirit penis. I'd like to see that. You know, is there a porn site where you can see a spirit penis? You know, it don't exist. It don't exist. I'm going to say this. I'm going to pass the mic because it's getting late or whatever. I'm just going to make these 2 points. I'm passing to my sister. Talib, are you there? I don't know even know.
Yes, I am. Yes,
oh,
I am.
okay.
Yes, I am.
I'm going to wrap it up, pass it to Sister Noble, then pass it to you.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. So I just want to say this. I'm going to pass the mic. Now, D. Darrell is a psychologist. So you expect him, if I come on his platform and it sounds like I'm anti-psychotic, you expect him to defend it. Are you act like you shocked because this man want to defend? That's how he make his living. He went to school for years to learn some bull doo-doo. Now he don't want to hear that. It's bull doo-doo. Psychiatry is fake. It's fraud. It's a pseudoscience. It's the easiest degree that you can get. And somebody was saying, well, I know somebody that tried to go to psychiatry and they didn't make it. Well, apparently, with all disrespect, with no disrespect, they must not have been that smart, because it's psychiatry. The diagnostic symptom manual itself will tell you this is theories. This is opinions. Psychiatry is not factual in no kind of manner. That's why homosexuality was a mental illness prior to 1973. And then all of a sudden it's normal behavior after the homosexual, the lesbian community got upset. Well, I don't have no mental illness. And plus a lot of psychiatrists and psychologists was homosexual. So they fought to get that out of the DSM. Look, you cannot do that with an illness. Chickenpox is chickenpox. Oh, I don't like COVID. Take that out. That ain't how diseases and illnesses work, because you don't like something. But with psychiatry, you can do that because it's not based on theory. It's not factual. They can do that. And then he told me I lied about them saying that the majority of the people on the planet suffer from mental illness. That came from them. That did not come from me. And if you look at the diagnostic symptoms manual, you'll see, hey, Sister Ann, let me put her up on the screen now. If you look at the diagnostic symptoms manual, you'll see all this. Now, the book is pretty thick. If you read enough of it, you're going to find yourself eventually, because all of us, see, mental illness don't have to be severe. It can be minor also. And so they're saying all of us suffer some kind of mental illness. It don't have to be severe like schizophrenia or nothing like that, but we all suffer some type of mental illness. He should know that, but apparently he don't. I know what I'm talking about. I dealt with this for 10 years, sir. I have more experience in mental health than you do, and I lived it. I'm on the other side. I dealt with people that have way more experience than D. Darrell do. In their little pinky, they have more experience. They've been doing this for 30 years or whatever. These are the type of people that I had to deal with. Not only psychologists, but psychiatrists too. I had to deal with all of them. And you can't tell me I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I lived it. I know, and I had to learn and study it in order to get the hell out of there. He don't know nothing about forensic psychology at all, I can tell. He don't know nothing about that at all. And I told him I saw people die, and he just glanced over it. He's just like, oh, well, yeah. Because see, that's his thing that he does. That's how he makes his living. He's going to defend it. How did he say, oh, there's some bad, he said it all calm and cool. Yeah, there's some bad people out there and they do this. No, this is not, these people are murdering folks. They're stealing from people. That's not no la-di-da thing. Well, these people are taking people's lives. They took 10 years of my life from me for no reason. It ain't no, well, la-di-da stuff.
It's not a light thing.
It's not light.
It's not light, yeah. And you can't justify it.
No, and they can't justify it, no. And don't tell me you can go to court and sue. I have my court papers. I don't know how many different ways I tried to file, and no lawyer would take my case. That's because they all in on this stuff.
Yeah, in cahoots.
In cahoots. But now he'll turn around and talk about how the cracker do this, and Dr. Umar Johnson talk about the prison industrial complex and all like that. It's all of this. This is part of it. This is part of it, sir. But you want to try to defend psychology, and you just la-di-da. It's not no la-di-da. And I show you how wacky or how evil these people are. And I have the video somewhere. You can probably look it up. I'm showing you I never took the medicine. And I got these envelopes, and I'm on the video. I'm showing you the medicine that I cuffed for years. They went to court and told the court that these medications is making him better. How are the medications making me better? Here they are right here. Never took them. And then they thought I was cuffing, and they gave me some liquid medicine. I learned how to cuff that too. I knew they was going to give me some liquid stuff, and I learned how to regurgitate it. I used to practice with water and put it in my throat and catch it in my throat and regurgitate it back up. Because I knew they was going to do that. So I learned, now I can't save the liquid unless I had some kind of bottle or something. I guess I could. But I never took their medicine. So you telling the court, now you under oath, you're supposed to be telling the court the truth. And then the judge just overlooked everything. Oh, well, I got the medicine right there. Not only the criminal judge looked over it, when I took it to the federal and the state courts, they just ignored the fact that these people was making this claim. They giving me all this medicine. It's making me better. It's in the court records. I got the paperwork. How is it making me better when I got it right here? I never took your crap. Never. I never took your crap. So he don't know what the hell he's talking about. He don't understand how wicked and evil, especially when it comes to forensic psychology. He don't know how wicked and evil it is. But he claimed he understand the prison, the school to pipeline prison industrial complex, whatever. This is part of it, sir. Oh, but it's different when it comes to to the discipline that you went to school for. It's different. Those psychologists, they wouldn't do nothing like that. They're nice, you know, all la-di-da and blah, blah, blah. No, that's not how it works. But again, the conversation was supposed to be about the Mississippi campaign. It ain't supposed to be about me. We can talk about me one day if I feel like it. I mean, I don't want to debate nobody over this no more. When I was in my 30s and 40s, no big deal. I'll be happy to go back and forth with you and holler and scream with you all day long. I'm too old for this. Not interested. I want to get out this cage. I'm sick of debating and fighting and arguing and on top of that, I don't care whether you believe or not. Like he was telling me, because of the way I talk, people won't. I don't give a damn whether you believe me or want to join. I don't give a damn. That's your business. Keep doing your stuff that you're doing, because I see that it's getting you very well. I see that it's very successful. So keep doing what you're doing. I don't care. I'm not here to be a savior, and I'm not here to talk to baby people. I talk about Jesus, and you think that is negative, and you ready to cry. He talking about Jesus. He talking about Umar Johnson. He talking about Farrakhan. Similac coming all out your mouth and spitting and snot coming out your mouth. Like, damn, straighten up, bro. You will never see me. You can talk bad about the Mississippi campaign all that you want to. You can talk about the reality. You'll never hear me. Ain't talking about reality temple. They don't like the Mississippi. To live, could you pass me a tissue? Never. On that note, I'm passing the mic to Sister No.
Well, I would like to give a shout out to Rashida and Sister Ann and everybody that joined in this chat tonight. And I just want to say welcome, you know, and thank you all for supporting Operation Exodus Mississippi and Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. And with that being said, I want to piggyback off of, you know, this field of psychology and psychiatry. It is all interconnected with the prison industrial pipeline. It's all interconnected. It's all, you know, it's all serving a purpose, you know, to oppress and depress a certain population, keep you a permanent underclass in this country. You know, you go to other countries, they don't have these prison systems like the United States. When you go to certain other countries around the world, they don't have these big old you know, houses of imprisonment, you know, and you know, imprisoning millions of their own population. Like the United States, you know, only over here they built all these prisons, these Auschwitz camps. I call them Auschwitz. Yeah, you know, all these damn Auschwitz camps over here to imprison. Guess who? Black people, people of color, so-called the American Negro. So anyway, you know, but anyway, they did all this stuff to get back at us anyway for that civil rights movement. You know, they did all of all they doing is getting back at us for the civil rights movement, for Malcolm X, for Martin Luther King, for Medgar Evers, for Huey Newton, for Bobby Seale, you know, for Assata Shakur, for Angela Davis, you know, to name just a few, to name a few. And that's what I feel. I feel like a lot of this is vengeance against us. Vengeance for the civil rights gains that, you know, were acquired in the 1960s, and they're slowly diminishing all of that right now as I speak. They're slowly undermining all our civil liberties in this country, all of it, and they're gonna continue to undermine the American Negro in this country, and currently they're undermining us through this immigration program. They're going to allow all these millions of immigrants to flood this country. And of course, they're going to take jobs away from a lot of you all out here. You know, a lot of you all, you know, talking about it's hard for you all to find jobs now and find decent employment and decent wages. Well, you know, all these millions of immigrants that are going to flood this country is going to be even more hard for you to find decent wages and decent employment where you live, because I live in the South. I'm in Atlanta. So, you know, one of these, you know, well, you know, Atlanta is one of the sanctuary states. You all know that. I mean, Atlanta is one of the sanctuary cities, you know, one of the sanctuary cities. Georgia is one of the sanctuary states, you know. So, of course, a lot of immigrants are going to be in Georgia, in Atlanta, metropolitan Atlanta. And, you know, and I just wish that Black people were not so caught up in organized religion, because I think that plays a major role in the way you think, the way you think about your situation. It plays a major part, because if you don't see anything wrong with your current condition, because they told you that you're free in Jesus, you know, they told you that you was free in Jesus, you know, Jesus has set you free, you know, and so therefore you think you're free because they told you that Jesus has set you free. And, you know, and they told you that you are the chosen generation. You know, they told you that you are somebody, you know, special only through Jesus, only through Allah, only through Yahweh. And, you know, we steady getting our asses kicked.
Right.
But, you know, you special in Jesus, and you special in Allah, and you special in Yahweh. But we getting our asses kicked. Think about that. Think about that. I just want y'all to think about that. Folks are filling your head up with lies and fairy tales, and, you know, they're telling you that, you know, you got all this power only through Jesus, and you ain't got no power. We ain't got no power, no economic power, and therefore we don't have any political power. And see, Operation Exodus Mississippi is really about consolidating political power for the so-called American Negro, because you're gonna need a lot more than just a job. You're gonna need your own resources at some point, because right now you're not in a position to demand anything from the U.S. government, because you ain't got no political power and you don't have any economic power. And therefore, you know, they're not gonna take us as a group seriously as much as they would, say, you know, these other communities like the Jewish community. They're not going to take the American Negro serious, because you ain't got no political and economic power like the Jewish community has. The Jewish community has Israel, the nation of Israel. You know, by the way, you know, that was stolen, you know, from the original Canaanites. You know, I'm not going to go into that right now. Okay, but that land was stolen from the original people that lived there. Okay, which were dark-skinned people and brown people. But with that being said, you know, it's a lot of racism even in the nation of Israel right now. You know, the state of Israel, but Operation Exodus Mississippi, I mean, I would advise anyone who has not yet seen all of the videos regarding Operation Exodus Mississippi to go and check them out. You know, well, even if you don't look at all of them, at least, you know, look at the promo video. Okay, yeah. At least watch the promo video to understand what Operation Exodus Mississippi is about. Because we need to consolidate power for ourselves, and we need to do it. We need to start doing it very quickly and very soon, because we don't have a lot of years to do this. Because if you don't do it within the next 5 years, I don't know. If you don't start doing something within the next 5 years from today,
right?
I don't think we're gonna make it. I just don't see a good future for the American Negro unless you start taking this knowledge, all this knowledge that you acquired, and start applying this knowledge to liberate yourselves from under the control and subjugation of the pink people.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't really control anything. We don't control a damn thing.
Nothing.
In our communities. We don't control the grocery store up the street. We don't control the music industry. We don't control nothing. We don't control the sports industry. Even though the NBA comprised what's over 70, almost 80% of Black NBA players.
Mm-hmm.
There should be more Black, actually, there should be more Black NBA owners.
Right.
So, you know, you all can sit around here and judge and criticize Angelsnupnup7 and criticize myself and talk about what we don't believe in. And none of that matters in the end when you don't control no resources.
Mm-hmm.
And they can just take all the groceries out the store. You know, they can not deliver no more groceries to the grocery stores. You understand? They can just starve us out.
Yeah.
They can cut the water supply, cut the electricity. You know, there are ways to get rid of us.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all sitting around here living in fairy tale land and thinking that Jesus is coming to save you and Allah is coming back and you know, whoever else is coming back to save you. And I'm here to tell you, Jesus didn't exist historically. I'm talking about the Jesus in the scriptures. I'm talking about the Christ of scripture. Think about it. Think about it. The Christ of scripture that did not exist historically. Okay. God is on trial. God is on trial. How religion keeps humanity under mind control and fear. Purchase your copy today for $13.99. Also, you may go to Amazon Kindle and download it on your phone for $3.99. Because, baby, we're going to have to do a lot more than just sit around here waiting on to come and rescue you, okay? You're going to have to do a whole lot more than just sitting around here waiting on a Black Messiah to rescue you. Okay, that's not gonna work. And you know, and right now we really in a real bad situation. But you know, everything on the outward appearance looks okay. It looks great for a lot of you all, because a lot of you all have these good paying jobs, and you know, you're making $100,000 a year. You know, so your situation is a lot better than a lot of other people. However, you still don't control nothing. You still don't have your own resources, and you don't have no political power and no economic power like the Jewish community in America. Okay? And then, you know, that's not going to help us in the future. Now, with that being said, I'm going to pass the mic.
Thank you, sister, and also thank you, brother Taalik. And thank you for allowing me on this panel tonight. First of all, I just want to start off by saying that, yes, I was very, you know, personally and generally offended by the way that this D. Darrow guy was making mockery of our soul brother Angelsnupnup7 and not properly calling him by his name as he should have, and the fact that, you know, he kept, you know, asking him a question behind, like repeating what Brother Taalik was saying when he said he saw people in the situation that he was in when he was incarcerated being killed. And, you know, brothers with his response seemed like he was just blatantly taking that for a joke. And it was brought to my attention that in the comment section, he was even heard giggling or laughing while the brother Taalik was speaking on his personal life situation. Now, with that said, I just want to also say that, you know, mental health, first of all, is nothing to laugh about. Mental health is not a joke, and it's nothing, once again, like I said, to laugh about. It's not a laughable matter, okay? And, you know, people affected by that, even people, and as well as being associated with people with autism, you know, who are judged all together, especially in the one whole same, you know, box. When you want to talk about boxing people with mental health issues and autism issues, and just putting them all in the same box, especially together. Well, let me say this. As 44 plus million of us as indigenous Black Americans, we all, because of slavery, have some type of form of mental health deficiency. I'm going to repeat this again. We as indigenous Black Americans who are within the population that's 44 plus million, who are dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in this country, have some type of form of mental health deficiency because of slavery. Whether as individuals, whether as families. But generally, we as a group of people have some form of mental health defect deficiencies. And first of all, for this guy, D. Darrell, who admitted that he works in the mental health field, to make mockery of our brother Taalik, I did honestly take that personal, and I took it even serious in general. And like I made it clear, I'm gonna publicly make it clear. I don't never want to be on no panel whenever that guy is on the live panel. I don't never want to be on no panel with him, and I haven't felt like that about him since I felt like that about a couple of individuals, you know, that our platform had issues with in the past, okay? But this individual here, I never want to be on the platform, and that's just me. Now, I can't speak for Taalik, and I can't speak for Sister Noble on that one, as far as that issue go, but me, I would never want to be on a live panel with him, because what he did, and especially because he comes from that pro-Black Pan-African construct, like most of them, they're very judgmental, okay? And then you want to talk about how discriminatory and how hostile the racist is toward us, but you ain't no different than the racist. And plus, you never got away from that so-called 85%er or Negro mentality. Like you refer to those average so-called Negroes in the streets as. You never got away from that mentality. You just dressed it up with your pro-Blackness. And that was all, you know. Now, I'm going to say this here. You know, in light of what we said so far on this very panel tonight, and with the situation and where we find ourselves at as a people, and like the sister said, because I do a lot of researches, or have done, you know, different researches on different countries around the world, and I still, you know, do, okay? But I'm going to say this here. Yes, there's not too many countries like the United States that lock up a whole bunch of people among their population. countries over there in Europe, especially like them Norwegian countries over in Europe, like Norway, Denmark, they don't lock up their population like that. As a matter of fact, Norway tried to get the United States to adopt their principle when it comes to the penal system and bars how to deal with the incarcerated. And the United States so far has refused, to accept their advice. But however, this is why, we keep getting what we get when it comes to this criminal penal justice system. Because all you're doing is making human beings worse than what they were before they went into the penal system. Okay? I did 9 years altogether in the penal system and was at different periods of my life in and out of incarceration. Okay? I know how them places can destroy a human being mentally, physically, and emotionally, bankruptly wise. I know. Okay? And for this guy to sit up and claim that he works in the mental health field and then claim to be pro-black and, like someone said, want to critique Brother Taalik about his experience by, according to what he went through, when he was incarcerated in that situation, this guy showed me that obviously either he is working against his own people in the field that he claims to have a professional occupation in, or, he's actually, you know what I'm saying, as far as I'm concerned, trying to infiltrate any type of, situation that might spell liberation for our people by him associating himself with Pan-Africanism, you see? And he works for the same system that incarcerated Pan-African leaders like Marcus Garvey, basically. Because like someone said, it's all in the same bracket in one whole eggshell. You know what I'm saying? Pan-African leaders that were assassinated in the 60s are incarcerated. You know what I'm saying? And thrown away in prison for the rest of their life to rot away until the day they die. We're oppressed by the same system that you still work for. Listen, let me tell you something. When I was incarcerated, I saw people, I'm actually talking about prison administration officials, or people that worked in the prison institution, that were actually claiming to be members of the Nation of Islam under Farrakhan, or that were actually members of the Nuwabian organization which goes under another name, who has an incarcerated leader named Malachi Z. York, serving 135 years in the federal prison system, okay? So, you had these kind of people working in the prison system, knowing what our situation is when it comes to being oppressed like this. And especially if they supposed to have this type of conscious awareness about their so-called blackness, but yet they working in a place like that. Now, when you call people out like that on their hypocrisy, the first thing somebody want to say is, oh, that's just a job. Well, there's a million other things you could have found. As far as having a job occupation in, why did you have to become a correction officer? or some other type of kind of employee in the prison system? Why did you have to become a police officer? Because you even got police officers that's actually in the Nation of Islam.
Yeah.
And that's a fact.
Farrakhan's son.
Yeah, exactly. You know? As a matter of fact, it was a brother years ago in Atlanta that was a part of that so-called Ansar Allah cult that would eventually go on to be known as the Nuwabians, and now as what they call themselves, the Sabians or whatever, some other mythical, logical BS they want to go by as an organization, you know?
Yeah.
And this Negro was at a bank. Matter of fact, I remember on Peach Street. I was walking down Peach Street years ago in Atlanta. And this was like in the mid-90s, around the time the Olympics was coming to Atlanta. And I'm walking down the street, and I see this Negro as an official security guard working at a bank with a gun in his holster and a badge and everything, protecting these white folks' money. Corporation institutions like that you working for, that's responsible for the same thing we talking about, the penal system. That's responsible for funding all this other corruption that's connected with this racism. That's diabolically destroying us as a people. You see what I'm saying? But you working for them. But if a brother wants to rob the bank, you gonna you supposed to love your people, but because of the sake of having a job, you got to kill your brother, right? You see what I'm saying? So this is what I'm talking about. You know, and this is another reason why I'm glad that I emancipated myself from this so-called pro-black conscious bull crap. And at that point, before I even met brother Angelsnupnup7 over social media, and then as we will go on to eventually become acquainted, you know, to this point, I even made it known to him that at one point in time, I was just about completely done with black people. When it, you know, bars, when it comes to struggle for liberation and all that, because I know most of these Negroes is not serious. I've seen it in the pro-black conscious community among the so-called Nuwabian nation, like who I just mentioned before. I've seen it among the Nation of Islam, the Moorish Science Temple, the 5%ers, you know what I'm saying, the Hebrew Israelites, you know, and the list goes on, you know. And I'm like, you know, it's like, I don't think we will ever be free, not even under that so-called construct. And you definitely can't depend on the Negro that's totally, you know, lost. I'm talking about the typical Negro on the street that's totally lost. Right. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, it's like, you know, I'm like looking at this situation and I'm saying to myself, you know, where do we go from here? Do we just go on and face extermination like we are doing at this moment even? Or do we come together like we trying to do here from this platform of Operation Exodus Mississippi to take control of a state which will safe haven and a sanctuary for us? Like the sister was talking about these cities being sanctuaries for these immigrants and more immigrants that's on the way to this country, like she was speaking on, you know? So I'm like, you know, I'm thinking about all this and I'm saying to myself, you know, I was just talking to a brother tonight was discussing how our so-called black leadership has failed us in this country. You know, since we're speaking on this topic that we're discussing, as far as our plight go as a people, and we talked about Louis Farrakhan, Al Sharpton, and other so-called Judas leaders like them. And I said, you know, and I even mentioned you, brother Taalik, in the conversation. I said that you would even admit that I am a little aggressive when it comes to how to deal with these type of individuals, you know? And I was like, you know, like even brother Omar Shamsuddin said, Dr. Omar Shamsuddin said, it's going to get to a point where our people going to be standing at these so-called leaders' doors. As soon as they open the door, just throw a, you know, sheet over them and just start beating the mess out of them. And I'll be honest with you. I know you probably don't feel that way, of course, brother, but I do. and I'm not going to say it on live social media, but I even feel that they even would deserve worse than that. Because they've sold us out for the slaughter. We're nothing but open slaughter right now.
Yes.
And it's also mainly because of them. Like he was talking about the leadership that would replace people like Martin Luther King in Atlanta, Georgia. You see what I'm saying? How you got, because of them, how you got more homeless people now sleeping in tents like they are in other major cities across the country. And I remember I lived in Atlanta with Sister Noble, and I remember it didn't used to be like that. Back in the 90s, especially in the early 90s and the 90s period, you go down there, the next day you have a job, you might have 2 jobs. Before that 1 week is out, you might have 4 different jobs lined up, ready to go to work. Because it do cost to live in Atlanta, and it is always cost to a certain large amount point to live in Atlanta. Atlanta ain't no cheap place to live, like Chicago ain't, like New York ain't. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you got to really, like somebody used to tell me, you got to hump. You know, in Atlanta, if you want to, you know, make ends meet, and at least try to live some type of decent way, you know. But anyway, now it's not like that in Atlanta. As a matter of fact, I heard they even have a very high unemployment rate in Atlanta, and this is even before COVID. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, I'm like, I was talking to the brother, and I was saying to him, you know, that maybe we, as indigenous Black Americans over here in the United States, maybe we need to adopt the mentality of those Black South Africans over in South Africa who during the apartheid period time in that country, where they would take sellouts, even those that was working in the system, and as soon as they returned to them Black townships where they had their Black populations relegated at, take their butts up out them Volkswagen vans that they would travel in, and put a tire around them and burn them up. Pour oil on them and then just burn them up alive. We need to adopt that same mentality. But I'm gonna just go as far as that. I really want some change as a people, and us to be able to come together. And even brother, like you had mentioned a couple of times, us taking control of the state, as Mississippi, and you have them same sellouts trying to derail our progress. Yeah. Then we need to throw them in the ditch somewhere. or you know, do what we got to do and throw them you know what I'm saying, and let that water dry them up on the Gulf Coast of Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm dead serious about that. You know, because I'm tired of our people selling us out like that. Accepting, you know, under-table payments from these races. And then they turn around and these same races end up betraying them.
That's how it works.
Exactly. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So it's like y'all Negroes still ain't got the memo. But I really would suggest, and it's just a suggestion, that the indigenous Black American, who is a direct descendant of slaves born in this country, adopt that same similar mentality that them Black South Africans had during apartheid. You know what I'm saying? When they was fighting for the end of apartheid, and when they was fighting to help free a sellout leader among them named Nelson Mandela. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like I said, I mean, I feel that they should adopt that same mentality. Because I'm going to tell you, this shit ain't going to stop. Excuse my French. You know, I usually don't cuss.
Yeah.
But this ain't going to stop until we adopt a similar method like that to deal with these sellout Negroes. We got to stop defending them, justifying the stupid behavior they do. And that's just why I stand there. Like I said, I can't speak for nobody else on this panel. Whether they might feel that way or not, I'm just speaking about me.
Right.
And where I stand at on that. But I think that they need to be severely dealt with. Because many of them are going to their graves without suffering consequences for selling us out to these races like that. And if they gonna die, then they need to die a miserable death. Even if it got to be torturous. The hell with them. They don't care enough about Black lives. Or people that look like them whose lives they've helped destroy. Just so they could goddamn, you know, live in a white picket house. You know, and stay and try to live comfortable on the slave master's plantation. The hell with that. You know? Because I mean, these people, they need to be held accountable for what they're doing. Even these same type of people that killed Malcolm X that look like us. The one that was supposed to pull the trigger that killed him, even Malcolm X supporters knew where he lived at. That brother Omar Shabazz, you know, that you always talk about, brother, you know, he gave him the information to locate that Negro that killed Malcolm X in the Audubon ballroom in Harlem. And he over there, right across the border in Newark, New Jersey, walking around free, alive, ain't been touched or nothing.
Well, not no more. He's deceased now.
I know, but ain't even get a chance to spend a day in jail. But died peacefully. Died a natural death when he should have died a torturous death. Behind what he did to one of our freedom fighters like Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? But see, these Negroes over here, they hypocrites. And they ain't got that type of warrior-like spirit like people in South Africa will have, or in other countries where darker skinned people live at around the earth will have when it comes to their traders. And that's the way we need to deal with our traders. Simple as that. But I don't hear too many people, not even in the pro-Black conscious community, speaking this same language that I'm speaking. because a lot of them is sellouts. That's why a lot of them stay quiet on, you know, issues, on internal issues going on with us as a people that they need to be the main ones speaking out about and trying to do something about. You know, just like one brother was saying, this is why them so-called, this is why the black churches or the preachers ain't even speaking out no more against the atrocities that's going on when it comes to these racist Peckerwood cops killing us, you know, because they taking money under the table and staying quiet and turning the other way. Like they say, turning a blind eye. You know? So, I mean, it's like I said, we need to understand and realize that this is the situation that we're dealing with as a people. We got to put up with more adversity, more than our ancestors did, even during the civil rights movement. Because not only do we got to deal with the racists like they had to deal, but we got to deal with the internal enemy within our own group. More so as we got to deal with the, you know, opposition coming from the racists. And like I said before, you know, if we really want to be free, we got to take our own destiny into our own hands, like Marcus Garvey would say, you know, and flatline this bull crap so we could get free, so we could finally become a true free people for once and for all by taking our liberation. And with that said, I got to get up and run to the bathroom, but keep talking.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to give our closing statements here. All right, let's get some closing statements real quick and call it a night. I certainly understand where our brother Talib is coming from. And it's not a new feeling, but it comes from an emotional place. This talk is not new. In fact, there are those who will tell you that Angelsnupnup7, you should catch me at my house, throw a blanket around me, and find me on the river somewhere. I have been told that. I have been called a traitor. So see, the problem with this language is, who is the traitor, who's not? Who are we to judge who should be sent down the river and who's not? How do we dictate that? Elijah Muhammad taught Malcolm, you don't have to condemn a dirty glass. Just put a clean one next to it. If you put your clean glass next to their dirty glass, common sense, most people that I know of would choose the clean glass over the dirty glass. Most people would drink the dirty water because they don't have no choice. So the Mississippi campaign is about giving choice. So I don't have to worry about Farrakhan. I don't have to worry about Al Sharpton. I don't have to worry about the pro-blackity black. I don't have to worry about nobody. We building a glass, filling it with clean water. Don't have to worry about them. Now, if they physically or somebody physically attempt to try to stop us from trying to be liberated and free, that's a whole different ball game. Then yes, you need to find them down the river. Like they want to send some kind of agents, some kind of troublemakers. Yeah, you need to find them one day down the river. That's how we grow. But we don't have to, I have no interest in people like that. When the only thing we have to do is show them how it's done. The reason why the people are doing what they're doing is because they don't have another choice. They don't have another glass. So it's important for me, wherever I can go, or Sister Nova, wherever we find ourselves, to give the people and let them know you do have a choice. You don't have to accept these solutions that's not working. There is a better way. But how can they make the choice if they don't know? How do the people, regardless whether you like Darrell or not, how are the people going to know that this exists? He has a platform. Almost 200 views during our visit there. All of them are not like Darrell. It's a sister there was named Catherine. She said, welcome back. I want to hear more what you have to say. It's like this, the way I look at it. I can only speak for myself. And the way they used to talk in the Christian church. Put on your armor and be a soldier. You know you're going into hostile territory. And do what you got to do. So I will go to Darrell or anywhere. I put on my armor and go spread this message that can help them get out of the situation they're in once and for all. I don't care about Darrell. I mean, we really don't know about Darrell. Like I told you, these people are emotional over their things and they are not in their right state of mind. I treat them like they're something, and I'm going to say this with all respect, but they're not in their right state of mind. Their minds are caught up in this Pan-African religion, all this stuff. They can't help it. So I got to go in, and I'll tell you something else that you may not know. There are those who really hate the fact that we were on Darrell's platform. They don't want us to talk about this nowhere. They don't want us to spread the word. They don't want us to grow. Why is Darrell? Why do they even ask Darrell what you got him on? Who the hell is that? What you got him on your platform for? They don't want the people to know what's good for them. So that don't bother me. His little giggles or his little insults. I'm trying to spread this word. And this is the second opportunity that we came on this platform. And the brother will give us another chance. And see, the more people get to know you, get to know us, the better. Now, you're going to always have those that hang on to their little belief systems or whatever, but you actually have those. Some of us, contrary to popular belief, some of us can think a little bit. And they sincerely sit back and want to know. Clarify. And I know how we look at him, but you never know. And just like he said, he might become our greatest helper. You don't know. Because we get in our emotions. I'll kill. I'll slice that nigga throat. I'll slice it. I'll kill. And I'll beat him up and take him out here. Don't you talk to me that way, blah, blah, blah. So the way we talking, we ain't no better than the enemy. We know better than the ones we talking about because they talking the same thing. Taalik is a traitor. He talking about he want to live with homosexuals and he support the gay community and Taalik talking about he support he support interracial marriage and boy, if we can get that nigga, well, we'll find him in the river, send him down the river. We ain't no better than they are. See, when I used to play basketball, sometimes you just got to show people how to go. You just got to show them. And those people you don't have to worry about no more. I'm concentrating on those who can understand those who can think for themselves. Because people like that, you really don't want to roll with you anyway, because their mind is rigid. You want to be with people who can think for themselves and flexible in the mind. Because we can do the Mississippi campaign and come to a fork in the road, and we got to be flexible. If we go to the left, understand it's not going to let us go to the left. See, in their mind, they're going to force their way. I can go left. The sign said don't make a left. Oh, I can go left. I can go left because Allah says so. We don't do that. We go to the fork of the road and the sign said no left. We back out, find another way. And you have people there. It said road out and people drive through the sign. I see the road. What they mean is out. Then they fall over the cliff. Dumbass. So it's about controlling your emotions. It's about being wise, because there's people on his panel. I'm telling you, if you look at if you was able to read the chat room, everybody's not against us. There are those who are actually listening, trying to understand where we're coming from. And the more we come, the more they begin to understand. Because I'm not talking about the internet ministry. We just want them to understand this plan, of which now we got even more help because we got this book by this brother, Charles Blow, that's basically saying the same thing. And it's because it's time. And how do we know that brother Charles Blow did not listen to our videos that guided him in that direction? How do we know? But anyway, don't make no difference. His work helped us do what we want, what we need to do. It helped verify this is the way we need to move. And then I had somebody like our brother Omar called me. He was thinking the same way. That's why brother Omar is here on the panel with us, because he was thinking the same way. He said, I saw one of your Mississippi videos, not my Reality's Temple, one of my Mississippi videos. I'm thinking the same way. And again, like I said, there are those who don't want to see us on D. Darrell's platform. They don't want to see us on Sinetta TV. They see Sister Nova sitting there. They don't like, do you think they like that? They don't like that because Sister Nova is affiliated with here.
Exactly.
They don't want to see that. And she's telling the people, spreading the word. They're going to her channel, listening. It don't make no difference whether they act on it or not. They listening. And you don't know what might happen to a person, because just like Sister Nova, when I first told her about the Mississippi campaign, she didn't like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. Oh yeah, go ahead, brother. That ain't how things went. It was like, yeah, that's all right. You know, she was trying not to hurt my feelings. You know, it might be able to work on Sunday. You know, today Monday. You know, she didn't want to hurt my feelings. You know, she didn't want to see me cry. You know, she didn't want to see a grown man cry. You know? But see, I don't cry that easy. I done a lot of crying in my past. I've been hurt a lot. Take a lot for me to cry, and tears, and hurt my feelings. Take a lot to hurt my feelings. Don't bother me at all. You don't bother me. You can call me what name you gonna call me I haven't heard before. There's no name that you can call me I haven't heard before. Blackie, evil, devil, wimp, simp, you name it. Whatever name in the book I've been called it at one time. Hypocrite, traitor, whatever the name is, I've heard it. You cannot hurt my feelings. Homosexual. Oh, Talib was with Talib. They keep telling that lie. Angel was with Talib. He was in his underwear.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, they keep telling that lie. But they never show the video. Because the video, first of all, the video is sort of dark. You can't really see what I'm wearing. But if you really look, you see I'm in pajamas. My long pajamas. And a long t-shirt. I'm not in no briefs. I don't wear briefs. I haven't worn briefs since I was a child. But that's the lie they tell. They just liars. because they do not want the people to have something that can work, because all their loser garbage has failed. And really it's about money, because they're not freeing the people. They don't want to lose that money, because if they go with listen to Angelsnupnup7, they lose their revenue. They lose their praise and their honor, all those different things. That's why they don't want us to come up, because as we come up, they going down. They going down. They have no choice. You ain't taking the people nowhere. You should have been down years ago. It's time for us to get out of this situation once and for all. I'll pass the mic on to our sister and brother Taalik. She passed the mic to you to give your last conclusion, and you take us out of here.
All right, brother.
Well, you know, I just want to thank everybody for coming and listening to us tonight. And I want to thank Brother D. Durrell for allowing me to speak on his platform. You know, I hope he invite us on his platform again to speak. And I'm gonna say this. We ain't gonna go out and send nobody down the river. Okay, so Operation Exodus Mississippi is not a violent group. We are not a militia. We are not anarchists. We are not Black identity extremists. So, and we don't condone violence. So, with that being said, I'm gonna pass the mic. I just wanted to make that very clear, because you know I don't want the FBI looking at this video right now, trying to label us as Black identity extremists and anarchists and you know, and mass murderers, because you know they have a tendency to make, you know, Black people look real bad in the media. You know, they'll take an innocent person and make him look real guilty.
Yes, they will.
You know, you've never done any violence in your whole life, and they'll take what you said and turn it around, flip it on you, and people be thinking you done murdered somebody by the time the mass media get through spreading lies and propaganda against you. So I just wanted to you know, make that known right now. Operation Exodus Mississippi is not a militia. We're not anarchists, and we don't practice violence. We're not gonna go out and float nobody down a river. That's not gonna happen.
Yes, ma'am.
And we do need to exercise discipline, you know, and control over our emotions.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, because, you know, even if you don't like what a person did or said, you can't be so quick to go out and do harm either. You know, we are really, truly about liberation.
Yes, ma'am.
For the American Negro. Now, some of these folks, you know, they ain't gonna come along with us in no way, because their mentality is all warped and they all messed up in the head. So they're not gonna come along with us anyway. They're not gonna get aboard the soul train of Operation Exodus Mississippi, because their mind is all messed up. A lot of these folks walking around here with all kinds of mental illnesses in our neighborhoods. You got serial killers in our neighborhood. Well, you know, and we're not going to let these people get in any type of leadership positions or roles at all. We're not going to allow these people. We're going to identify them head up. We're going to identify them head up, you know. You know, so, you know, and then, you know, people end up exposing themselves anyway, you know.
Right.
You end up telling on yourself. You know, you end up telling on yourself by your actions and your mannerisms and your deeds. You know, so therefore we will be able to identify you. If you are not for us, if you are a treacherous individual, we will be able to identify you. You know, oh yeah. And if we identify you, you will be exposed. Now, with that being said, I'm going to pass the mic to my brother Taalik.
Yes, thanks, sister. Thanks. And once again, thanks, brother.
You're welcome.
I must say that, you know, it comes a point in time where when you're passionately for the liberation of an oppressed people like us, as an indigenous black people, you know, I must say that it would be unnatural for emotions to some extent not to kick in because of what we've been through. But however, there does need to be balances and checks put in motion to control our emotions.
Yes.
I totally agree with that, you know. And you know, because it don't need to be more of us getting killed in the process or even going to jail because we allow our emotions to control us. And you know, just like people always depicted Malcolm X as being a violent leader.
Huh.
Well, all he basically said was fight against those that fight against you. Which he was taught by the Nation of Islam, the same people that went out their way anyway and killed him without any real justification or cause. Beside, other than they said, oh, he talked against our messenger. Well, like I heard you say, brother, recently, very, very recently. Well, Slave Master talked about your messenger. And like you mentioned earlier, he incarcerated your messenger, right? What did you do to him? You see, this is the, but you know what? I say it again, that we should never allow our emotions to overcome us to where we lose sight and focus on what our main aim, purpose, and goal is, which is to become emancipated from an oppressor, which we have never reached that point yet in our over 400-year bondage in this country as a people. But with us getting on board this soul train, taking control of a state like Mississippi, that could definitely become possible, a real possibility. Not a fairy tale, but a real possibility.
Yes, sir.
And so, I mean, you know, and at the same time, and by the way, family, be looking for a video to be coming out on my personal channel called Eric Bell, and you could go to that channel because I'm going to be doing a review of Brother Charles M. Blow's book called The Devil You Know, A Black Power Manifesto. And I'm going to be doing a review because I'm like over halfway through the pages in that book. It's laying right by me right now, and maybe tomorrow I'll try to finish up most of the pages as much as I can, because I do have to stay busy and prepare myself for a test I got coming up Monday. Because I'm still, even at 52, going on 53, I'm still trying to battle my life quality as a human being.
Yes, sir.
And that's only right. I owe myself that, you know. And you know what I'm saying? And yes, even to the point of getting a job with real beneficial means, and not no you know, under minimum wage pay. You see what I'm saying? Because you definitely might as well call that working for free. When you get below minimum wage, what, $7.25? No reason why they run around this country screaming, raise that sucker up to $15, which it should be at $23 an hour. That's how they got it set up in Belgium. Everybody makes $23 an hour. That's why you don't have an issue of poverty going on in that country. But you know, anyway, you know, like I said, we still got to live. So, you know, but I'm just not going, me personally, And even if I could get a job working in the system some kind of way, even with my record, I could still actually get a job.
Mm-hmm.
If I wanted to take up a certain trade, and I could actually become a prison counselor with my record. Go and actually work as a state employee within a prison institution. And I don't choose to do that. Because that's not what I'm built for. That's not me. You know, I'm not into the business of benefiting off of our people's oppression like that. You know, like a lot of us who are, you know, unfortunately. And like you said, it's because we have been so brainwashed and have accepted what this enemy has taught us for so many years and had us passed down from generation to generation. And here we go, you know, and it's like, I tell you, you know, the reason I'm still around as far as in the quest for liberation of the indigenous Black American is because of the unyielding love of my people. Even though they have done so much stupid stuff, which can cause a person to be very frustrated, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. I can sit up here all night and tell you a whole lot about that.
I could
too. Anyway, yeah, right. but man, I tell you though, you know, and Sister Noble, I know you still on the panel. I just want to say one thing to you.
Yeah.
I have to respect you for putting up with that bull crap that you putting up with them Negroes in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah. From the past of me being down there in Atlanta and in Georgia, of course, you know, I know how the Negro experience could be down there. I definitely know how it could be. Trust me, I've had my share of the South. Period. Other states I've been to in the South, like Arkansas, where my grandmother on my paternal side was from. You know, so I know how things can get. You know, I know how Negroes, boy, I tell you, and Negroes, wherever we find ourselves at, even here in the Midwest, where I'm at, out west, East Coast, North, it don't make no difference. We all in the same messed up boat. The regions don't change our mentality when it comes to us being a slave, because we all, you know, go back to the same fig tree, as the Moorish Americans would say. We all originate from that same fig tree, and that's called the plantation.
Yeah.
You know, so it really don't make no difference. You know what I'm saying? And understand and start working together and realize that, and stop beefing with each other, even though we're being from different region parts of the country. You know.
Yes, sir.
You know, like with them rappers killing each other. They leave in Chicago, going to Atlanta, getting killed. Or a rapper might go from Atlanta and get killed in Chicago, you know. The same situation that happened with Tupac and Biggie in the 90s, you know. It's just crazy. And these Negroes are still feeding into that. And these Negroes in social media still even, you know, egging stuff like that on. Like, you serious? I thought we had enough of that in the 90s, you know. You can't even go nowhere. If you from another city, or you ain't from around here, and you get your head blew off. It ain't about what color you wearing now. It's still about what city you from, what state you from. Like, really? And none of these states and none of these regions in the United States of America give a damn about your Black Negro self. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you know, but you running around here killing because, oh, this my hometown, this my city, and I'm a rep. Your city don't give a damn about you.
Yes.
That's why they locking you up and killing you. Look at George Floyd. Look at Eric Gardner. Bet you they wasn't saying that about Minneapolis and New York City. Even up to the point when they got killed. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's like nobody care nothing about that. We don't even control none of this land.
Right.
We can't even come together and control the state without having differences.
Right.
So I mean, I'm gonna go on and close us out, but I just want to put those few instances in there, and that to let it be known too that that actually, I just want to bring up my situation here a little bit because I've discussed it. Matter of fact, on the live podcast about what I've been dealing with out here in Nebraska, far as, of course, like dealing with the racism, dealing with these, of course, these type of Negroes like I was talking about earlier that got the sellout mentality and all that. Well, I'm dealing with it. I'm still, I'm handling it, and I'm, like anywhere else I would be, and I'm dealing with the situation. But I've never been used to nothing like this in my travels throughout my life.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been used to this type of setup, I've always been used to being in places where it's more of an equal balance playing field, even when it comes to ethnicity. But hey, this is what I got to accept for now because this is where I'm at. I bought myself here, so I'm dealing with it. And I've been dealing with it for, going on 7 years?
Mm.
People back in which I'm not going back to my hometown, and people even keep asking me, when you coming back? When you coming back to Detroit? Man, you better miss me with that Detroit stuff. Thousands of other people that left Detroit, especially when the economic crisis really started, causing that city to diminish when the auto industry completely fell on its face. That's when a lot of people left there, and ain't looking back. Detroit ain't got nothing. What's back there for? And if anything, they building, to make downtown better for the white folks to be comfortable in. But you go anywhere else in that city, it is what it was when I left there. So I'm gonna just leave it at that, But at least here I am in a good situation to where I can continue on moving forward with my own personal life and bettering myself. Because had I been there, I'll be honest with you, brother and sister, I'd have been on something else different. Even my cousin, me and her, we talk about that off and on. I would have been on something else different. But, and I have to be honest. Like they say, we keeps it real on this platform, So, but anyway, I'm going to tell you like this. I really am proud of the platform that I come from, far as like-minded people as myself, because in spite of y'all are helping me to deal with certain stuff in a different way, even when it comes to naysayers, like whether it be D. Darrell, whether it be Maurice Muhammad, whether it be you know what I'm saying, Bakari, you know what I mean, whether it be anybody else that has been opposed to our platform in some kind of way, form, or fashion. Y'all are teaching me how to actually deal with these people from a different approach in spite of my feelings. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Because it may not change the way I feel, but y'all are showing me how to deal with this situation on a different approach. Because we need our people, and we don't need, as the sisters say, we don't need violence to tear us further apart. You know what I'm saying? We already got enough issues with that.
Yes, sir.
As far as that tearing us apart as a people, internally. Yes, so, sir. I mean, and yes, we do not want to be recognized as no black extremist group. I'm no terrorist group either, okay?
Right.
I know that also in there as well myself. You know, I ain't. You know, I don't want the feds and the establishment to get that misconstrued in no kind of way. But sometimes a brother do blow off a little steam here and there, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want that to get confused with black extremism. Right. Or black or terrorism, that crazy stuff, you know? And I want that. I want them to make sure they hear that loud and clearly. Don't confuse what we're saying on this panel tonight with black extremism or terrorism, because that ain't what it's about. Yes, period. You know, it's just a couple of brothers and a sister, you know, getting our frustrations off, and even to an extent blowing a little steam off, but it ain't that serious. You know? Right. And with that said, I'm gonna take us out of here. And for those of you that is listening in the comment section, I hope y'all gotten as much positivity out of this. Oh, and what's her name? That sister Rashida Strober. Yeah. I send my greetings out to her as well. If you're still in the comment section hearing this, I send my greetings out to you, sister. Brother D. Darrell is in the house. He stopped by. Oh, okay. And you know, even though I didn't agree with what the brother said, earlier, but I send my greetings out to him too, because I mean, we supposed to mean well to each other when we trying to get up out this prison, like you said, you know. And I send my greetings even if Maurice Muhammad in the comment section. I send my greetings to him. Yes, sir. If Bakari in the comment section, I send my greetings. This is what it's supposed to be about. And you know, we ain't got to get along to be free. Absolutely. The white folks that came from England, they didn't all get along. Even when they got their independence in 1776 from their fellow, brethren, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. From England. They still wasn't together, and to this day, they still ain't totally when it comes to some things. Look at the Democrat-Republican Party. That's one indication of it, you know. But with that said, I'm just going to just say that I would like to also say that, because I know you, Sister Noble, you very passionate about the sex trafficking going on, and there's a lot of children, and there's a lot of people here in Nebraska that do go through that, and this is one state known in the country for that. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out if any of you, you know what I'm saying, that know about somebody that's been victimized by sex trafficking, y'all need to get in contact with the authorities immediately as possible. And if y'all know who the crime perpetrator is, turn them in. The hell with that. Right. It ain't about snitching. Turn his ass in, or her ass in. With that said, I'm gonna be Audi 5000. And peace to everyone.